Hi everyone. So it's Pinephone in the hospital diagnosis day today. So I took the illustrious Pinephone today, and I've been running it on an SD card all this time, and the onboard memory card had a failed Manjaro, the original operating system, on it, and then I had overwritten it with a earlier release from beginning of May, and it didn't boot, so I kind of gave up on it. Well, today I took the latest release of Mobian that I was running on the SD card and flashed it to the eMMC and got it up and running. And I still can't get text messages. I can send them, but I can't receive them. Not good at all. And the software store worked, so I put the email back on it, and I realized, well, what good is that going to do? It's not going to make the incoming text work. So I tried Arch Linux or something like that. Yeah, just a minute, and I'll get the name. Sorry about that. I'm back. Yeah, I was close. It's Arch Linux ARM, and it says here what works, what does not work. Most of the things now work. There are some minor issues with crust. I don't know what crust is, but it's not true. The USB works with my Bluetooth, just as that awful buzzing sound, just like I got a Manjaro, and it's unusable in a phone call or anything like that. There's no way to connect to it, and so stuff doesn't work on it. So that's not true. Plus, I still can't receive text messages. I'm assuming now this is a hardware failure, because 3 different operating systems and no incoming text message, only outbound. And I noticed something else too. You know when you get the phone, you peel off this nice label, the screen. But I'm noticing a small crack here, and it's like there's a secondary label underneath the screen, because I can sort of start peeling it off now. It's starting to come loose. So I don't know if that's a default screen protector or what. First I thought it was cracked because it has a little bit of a crack in it, but it's not the glass. It's a piece of plastic. So Arch Linux is no good. Mobians, no good. Manjaros, no good. They're all no good. There's nothing good about the Pinephone. Even the hardware is no good. And something else I've noticed for a while too. There's this little ticking sound down near the battery. Tick, 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 tick. It doesn't do it all the time. Usually when I open the camera app, I notice it. I noticed it a few times today. I don't know if anybody's experienced that, but it's like maybe it's going to blow up. Maybe it's a time bomb. I don't know. But I think I'm going to give up on this phone, because it's no good to me if I can't receive text, and I have no idea how to fix that. And changing the operating system did not help. So I'm assuming it's not a software problem. Just another piece of crap from Pine 64. Anyway, very disappointed. Whatever you do, don't buy one. Not only is the software no good, apparently the hardware sucks too. So what did I get out of it? 6 weeks of intermittent use, and not much pleasure at all. Anyway, thanks for listening, guys. Hey, you thought you got rid of me? Well, I changed my mind. A couple of things. I noticed on Arch Linux, ARM, whatever it was called. I've forgotten already. Yeah, that's what it was. They've got the I Can't Remove You Firefox Mobian Call Home edition on there. A phone that calls home and tells everyone your location. It's called the Mozilla Location Services Mozilla.com. It's called the Mozilla Location Services. It's an open service which lets devices determine their location based on network infrastructure like Bluetooth beacons, cell towers, and Wi-Fi access points. This network-based location service complements satellite-based navigation systems like assisted GPS. That's a GPS. The open service relies on a community of contributors ranging from individuals collecting data, developers using innovating on top of service to organize sharing information about the infrastructure. Get involved. As an individual, you can use one of the client apps. Now, here's the clincher. Firefox Desktop allows you to use the service instead of the default location provider. And some Firefox Desktops versions distributed by third parties, especially Linux, use MLS by default. Currently, this includes Firefox for Fedora, Arch Linux, that's the one I had last, Firefox for Pack BSD, Arch BSD, Firefox for Open Solaris, Firefox for Debian, and I'm assuming that's Mobian edition. So it's spying on you and you can't uninstall it. Why don't we just install Google as well and just may have one big happy spying party? That's a fail for a privacy phone. It's a big fail that you've got it built in by default. Okay. I'll be back. Okay, on the text messaging issue, I found a guy on the Pine 64 forum who had the same problem last year, October 6, 2020. I'm stuck with not being able to receive SMS, but I can send them. This has been going on for a month now and I can't figure it out. And he's tried a bunch of stuff. Everything I've done plus a few things. And somebody says to him, you need to clean the MMS messages from the modem cache. What? Well, the modem's a piece of hardware, and how do I access its cache? And it doesn't give you any idea on how to do it. The modem cannot process the messages. The SMS messages should resume after that. You do not need the APN for SMS text. So it's not a setting, he says. So anyway, the guy says, I was able to fix it by completely reinstalling the OS, and I did that. It didn't help. And then during an update message, let me try it again. Then during an update, messages came pouring it. I think he meant pouring out. So I'm guessing when something was updating, it knocked something loose. Like you said, maybe it was a cache issue. But I'm wondering, how do you clean the MMS from the modem cache? Well, I'm wondering that too. What do you use, a broom or a cloth like Hillary Clinton will wipe the MMS cache? That's a good idea. I don't see anything in the MMCLI documentation that specifies MMS versus SMS. And thread was closed. So it was a stupid piece of advice without any indication on how you go about cleaning the MMS cache in a piece of hardware. Is it a ROM chip that needs to be flashed or what? This phone makes me sick. It's such a piece of fucking garbage. Everything about it is garbage. I don't know how you guys are ever going to sell this to anybody when it craps out like this. The third operating system, the Linux, I can't remember what it's called. Stand by while I find the page. Arch Linux ARM. As soon as I installed it, the software repository did not work. I flashed it again, and it did not work with a different message. Can't connect the database. Before it said just can't download, failed. So every time I flash it, it gives me a different error message, but it's still broken, and it's still broken now. And it's just a piece of $400 piece of crap. The operating systems are all crap. It's just pissing me right off, because every time I reinstall something, it only works temporarily, and then something else breaks on it, or the same thing breaks again. Because with Manjaro, I had a software repository issue, and YouTube user LinMobNet, congratulations, the script worked again on this one, got that working, but it connects to the database, but it still has a software download error. So I can't install the email client, which is mandatory for my profile if I'm going to use this phone. And of course, I don't know how to clean the MMS cache in a piece of hardware modem. So I think I'm kind of stuck now. So anyway, Pinephone, thanks for giving me a good screwing. All you Linux guys, you're just icing the cake for pine cone. Anyway, thanks again. Bye. I'm back for a minute. Just a obvious thought. You know, when you fire up Mobian, the light at the top of the phone is green. When you fire up Arch Linux, it's red. I wonder if that means anything. Anybody know? I don't. Hi, I'm back. Hope you enjoyed our break. So apparently this is a common problem with this phone. The SMS messages get stuck in the modem. And I found a guy who has, of course, another command line. I'm sure I'm doing a lot of command lines these days to identify how many and clear them out. But I just worked on it, and I discovered that you got to have a SIM card in to do this, because the modem has to be turned on and functioning. So I put the SIM card back in my Samsung. So I wonder if those messages will still be there, because when I turned on my Samsung and they went bling 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 bling, I didn't have to use any command line to get them onto the Samsung. They came automatically. So something's a little bit buggy about Chatty, I think. It's not working well, because I bet you if I move the SIM card back in, and I might do this, I might not. I'm really fed up with this thing right now. I've just about had enough. It's, you know, I want to throw it against a brick wall. I really do. Because it's just such a piece of crap. It's never going to go anywhere. It's never going to be marketable. It's just a brick that you can get some cement and make a house of Pinephone bricks and make a house out of it. So anyway, I'll keep you posted on how it goes, but not a happy camper. And whatever you do, don't buy one of these pieces of crap. It's a waste of money. Oh yeah, I want to rant a bit more. So this has been going on for over a year. Shouldn't you guys fix this crap so it doesn't happen? Well, you had a year. I mean, let's give up on you know, the other stuff, and just get the existing stuff working properly before you move on to any new development. Okay, text messages not coming in. I've been reading extensively. A lot of guys were thinking it's a year ago. This is a year ago. A lot of guys are thinking it's OS related, and I dispute that claim. I'll tell you why. Let me finish telling you what they say. So they talk about using Modem Manager and clearing the messages from the modem. I don't think it's in the modem. I think it's in the SIM card. Because let me tell you why. Because I put my SIM card the other day with my original Mobian on the SD card, and I found out I wasn't getting text messages. I put it in my back of my Samsung. I got the text messages right away. So it's not connected to the Mobian operating system at all. It's independent. So that leaves me with two things: either my internet service provider or internet or telco carrier, whatever you call the guys, phone guys, are holding them back, which wouldn't make sense, because if you run the Modem Manager, you wouldn't see them there. They're stuck in the modem. I think that they're being blocked from heading to the Chatty app, and that's as far as they get, and they're in the SIM card, not the modem. Because today I used a new installation of Mobian, not the one from yesterday, and then I installed the Linux, Arch Linux, and I used that for a while, and they still weren't coming in, and then I took the SIM card, put it back in my Samsung, and bling 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 bling, and they come. So you have to use any command line to get them to come to the Samsung phone. And they were already on the SIM card, or my provider still had them. And I guess if I feel like it, I'm going to take the SIM card out, put it back in the Pinephone, run that command, and see that there aren't any messages in the modem, or if there are, then I'll let you know. That's it for now. I'm back from that commercial break. I found an app to work on this problem with. It's Modem Manager GUI. I'm not going to do it tonight because I'm tired and I'm fed up. I've had enough. This Pinephone's giving me a pine in the ass. This Pinephone is, and it's just riddled with problems. And I don't know. After a year, you would think you would address some of the original problems with this thing, and not continue to develop other things that have problems, because you just end up with a basket full of problems. And so far I have 3 different OSs installed multiple times, and the score is problems 6, Pinephone 0. So it's a long time for public beta release, that's for sure. And I got $100 that says that by 2030 this will still not be a deployed product, because it's moving slowly, and every step of the way I take with it, the worse it gets. And I recommend you not buy one for any reason, unless you like Firefox spyware, Pinephone software bugs, hardware bugs. So many bugs, you need a can of Raid to put them all out. It's terrible. Worst purchase I've ever made of any kind of piece of equipment ever in my 25 years of running IT. Thanks everyone.